KATV. This is Channel 7 News at 6.
The family of a 14-year-old boy who was killed by gunfire in Little Rock makes a public plea to stop the violence. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Inman.
And I'm Christina Munoz. There are still many unanswered questions in the death of Decree Thomas. He was shot around 4 this morning near an abandoned house at 1305 Booker. While Thomas's family is showing compassion for whoever killed him, they still want justice to be served. Pamela Smith is live with more on our top story tonight. Pam?
Hi, Christina. I had a moving conversation with Decree Thomas's grandfather, who says God has given him the power to forgive. Now he just hopes the killer will do the right thing.
This is a devastating situation right now. You know, I mean, words just cannot express it.
For the second time in 4 years, Rufus Cyrus is grieving the loss of someone close. First his own son, now his grandson, both to violence. 14-year-old Decree Thomas reportedly collapsed near this abandoned house at 1305 Booker after being shot at least 2 times around 4 a.m. Tuesday. Have police been able to tell you guys anything?
Well, no. It was just act of violence, rage and violence. And I mean, it's still fresh, so it's still under investigation.
City Director Ken Richardson, who's working to eliminate abandoned houses like this one that he says are often havens of crime, rushed to the scene.
I think this drives home the need for us to do a little bit more, pay a little bit more attention in terms of us trying to revitalize our community, but not just infrastructure revitalization, the human capital revitalization.
He points to youth programs that give kids more than a place to hang out, positive direction, like the one at Promised Land in Southwest Little Rock.
They really need something to do, and so we just pray that there's more programming in the community, that all we need to do is just reach a few.
Meanwhile, Thomas's family tries to cope with the loss of someone they recall as a typical teen.
First thing he would do when he would come here is go to the refrigerator. Our kids, they love to eat. He was so young and precious, and he's just gone too soon.
And there is still no word on why Decree Thomas was out at 4 a.m. nor who would have a reason to shoot him. Pamela Smith, back to you.
All right, Pam, reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. And the man who killed a soldier and injured another outside an Army recruiting center in Little Rock 2 years ago has now been transferred to prison. The capital murder trial of Abdul Hakim Muhammad ended abruptly yesterday with a plea deal for Muhammad to spend the rest of his life in prison. Today, Muhammad began that sentence. He was transferred from Pulaski County Jail to the Arkansas Department of Correction.
Jury selection began today in the trial of a man accused of shooting and killing his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend in Conway. 22-year-old Cortez Waller accused of killing 32-year-old Chris Childress of Jonesboro in front of the Conway Police Department in July of last year. The surveillance camera caught it on tape. Waller faces a charge of second-degree murder now. It was downgraded in yesterday's hearing from first-degree murder. Conway police say Childress followed Waller to the police station, and Waller opened fire. He then turned himself into police immediately after. Waller's attorney is claiming self-defense.
The U.S. Postal Service lost $8.5 billion last fiscal year, and those numbers spell bad news for employees. More than 3,600 post offices will be closed or consolidated nationwide, including nearly 200 here in Arkansas. Roger Suzannon has the details.
Right there. Residents in small towns all over Arkansas are asking the same question.
Oh my goodness, where are we going to get our mail?
The USPS announced they plan to cut costs by shutting down 179 post offices in Arkansas. Most of the facilities are in rural areas.
It's just a sadness and a disappointment, I think, and it's just a part of history, I think, fading.
The USPS will continue to deliver to everyone they have in the past, but folks who currently have to pick up their mail at a post office may have to travel farther, much farther.
You know, transportation, fuel, time, handicapped people that
can't go very far. I mean, it's not fair.
Doris Burfield will have to drive around 15 miles to DeWitt to pick up her mail if the St. Charles post office closes. She won't be alone, though. At least 4 Arkansas County post offices are slated for extinction.
This pretty much is St. Charles.
It's around noon here at the Crockett's Bluff Post Office, but there's really not much of a lunchtime rush. The only vehicle here, this lonely truck, belongs to Clara. Clara Bounds has worked here for the last 24 years, the last 11 as postmaster, but not for long.
I'm sad for all the postmasters and all the, and all the surrounding communities. I really am.
In Arkansas County, Roger Suzanin, Channel 7 News.
And the closings will start in the next 4 to 6 months. The Postal Service says it's also considering a money savings plan to cut back mail deliveries from 6 to 5 days a week. A lawsuit now dismissed against the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, which was accused of skirting public records law and administrative procedures. The circuit court ruled that the commission is bound by the State Freedom of Information Act, but is exempt from the Administrative Procedures Act. The commission came under criticism late in 2010 when it tried unsuccessfully to write its own, more restrictive version of the state public records law.
Last Friday, we heard from several tenants with complaints against a Little Rock landlord. Well, since then, we have heard from more. You may be surprised just how far back his complaint history goes. Here's 7 on your sides, Jason Peterson.
Lynette Williams only rented from Imran Bora for 1 month this spring. She says her time in this home cost her plenty, though, starting with the $700 he charged for a security deposit and first month's rent. She says Bora promised to fix a broken window and change the locks, but he never did.
My house got broken into and basically everything I owned was stolen.
Then, near the end of her first month, she came home and found that what she had left was gone.
I called him on the phone and he was like, "Oh, well, I just took your stuff to the dumpster." And he hung up.
Well, how much stuff? What did he take?
I had 3 bedroom sets, living room set, dining room set, my food, clothes.
All of it gone?
All of it gone.
Without an eviction notice or anything?
No.
The first court action we can find taken against Imran Bora for failing to maintain his properties dates back more than a quarter century to early 1985. His most recent citation for this property was October of last year.
Basically, he needs to be dealt with and stop renting these houses until he know they up to date. Because he have a lot of them.
Now, these documents represent the complaints against Bora in Little Rock over the past 5 years alone. Bora will be back in Little Rock Court Thursday to face some more. Jason Peterson, Channel 7 News.
It is a national story with local implications, and many Arkansans are concerned about what might happen if a deal is not reached regarding the debt ceiling by the Tuesday deadline. Advice from financial planners suggests residents don't panic. Rather, stay calm and talk with your advisors to determine how much your portfolio can stand to weather.
It may make sense for some people to move a little bit of money maybe out of the markets and over into fixed income or something a little bit more secure for the short term. Again, you got to be awfully good at timing to pull it off and make money with it.
Both Democratic Congressman Mike Ross and Republican Congressman Tim Griffin believe a resolution will be passed before that deadline. Griffin says he does not think there's a chance that Social Security or military checks will be stopped.
Well, summer break is now over for high school football players who are getting ready for the upcoming season.
Almost hard to believe, but as they battle it out on the field, they're battling the heat as well. What they're doing this summer to stay cool, that's coming up at 6:17.
And only a very isolated thunderstorm this afternoon. You can see them in South Arkansas, and they're all moving to the south and weakening quite a bit. We've got more heat to talk about, but it is summer in Arkansas. We'll break it to you in just a few minutes.
Channel 7 News at 6, brought to you by Cleo's Furniture, Fox Ridge, Bale Chevrolet Kia, and UAMS.